Hello guys. This is Real Recaps. In this video, I will talk about a 2022 slasher film, X. Before we start, I hope you guys will like and subscribe to the channel. In 1979, Sheriff Dentler arrives at the scene of a horrific crime. There is a corpse covered up in the front of the house, and blood splattered all over the front porch. As Dentler goes inside, the deputy tells him to go inside the house to see something particularly gruesome, and Dentler is left stunned. A whole day earlier, aspiring starlet, Maxine Minks, is getting ready to go down to Houston, Texas to shoot a porno, The Farmer's Daughter. Her boyfriend, executive producer, Wade, brings her along with the rest of the crew, writer-director, RJ, his girlfriend and sound operator, Lorraine, an actors couple, Bobby Lynn and Jackson. The crew arrives at the farmhouse where they are set to shoot the film. In the van, Bobby Lynn and Jackson start making out, while Lorraine is unimpressed with the film's content and RJ attempts to make it seem like a serious cinematic piece. Meanwhile, Wayne goes to talk to the owner, Howard, who greets him with a shotgun pointed at him. Wayne has to remind Howard that they spoke the other night about renting his place out. While Maxine gets out of the van, she notices Howard's wife, Pearl, watching her from the window. As Howard brings the crew to the guest house, he makes it clear that he does not like or trust any of them. After he leaves, it is revealed within the crew that Howard doesn't know the true intention of them renting the guest house. The crew begins filming with intercourse scene between Jackson and Bobby Lynn. The premise of the film being that Jackson's car broke down, and he comes upon Bobby Lynn's house and propositions him before they film their scene. Meanwhile, Maxine takes a walk outside. As she walking back to the guest house, she sees Pearl standing outside the house, inviting her over. In the kitchen, Pearl prepares drinks for Maxine. As Maxine about to leave, Pearl laments her age, expresses jealousy for Maxine's youth, and makes a pass at her. When Howard returns home, Pearl tells Maxine to leave and keep the meeting as a secret. However, Howard notices that there are two glasses on dining table. The crew then film the next scene with Maxine and Jackson. Maxine playing the younger sister, who also has intercourse with Jackson in the barn. Pearl watches the scene going on and appears to get aroused. She tells Howard she wants him to make love to her, but he declines, since he feels his heart cannot take it. Night falls, and the film crew relaxes in the guest house. Lorraine, keen to shed her reputation as a prude, and intrigued by the film, asks to participate in the shoot. RJ is immediately opposed to the idea and accuses the group of putting her up to it, though they assure him that they did not, and that Lorraine's choice to be in the movie falls on her alone, regardless of his feelings. RJ then films the scene of Lorraine and Jackson having intercourse. Later that night, while everyone is sleeping, RJ goes to take a shower, where he cries over it. Frustrated with everything that happened, RJ sets out to leave the crew stranded at the farm. RJ begins to drive away, to spitefully leave everyone behind, but he stops when he sees Pearl standing in the road. He tries to help her back into the house, but when she attempts to seduce him, he rebuffs her. Pearl stabs him in the neck, and then repeatedly stabs him until he is dead, spraying the headlights with blood. Meanwhile, Lorraine wakes up and notices that RJ is gone. She asks Wayne to help her, searching for him. Wayne then goes to search in the barn. As he walks in the barn, he accidentally steps on a nail while barefoot. After pulling it out, he hears something and looks through a hole in the wall, and Pearl impales him through the eye with a pitchfork, killing him. Lorraine is looking for RJ around the couple's house and meets Howard, who says that Pearl is missing. She is invited to the couple's house by Howard. He asks Lorraine to retrieve a flashlight from the basement. When Lorraine attempts to leave the basement, she discovers she has been locked in. After turning on the light, she discovers the rigged corpse of a male hanging. She screams, horrified at what she sees. In the guest house, Jackson wakes up. He sees Howard approaching the house, asking his help to look for Pearl. They walk by the pond, where Jackson sees a car underwater. He turns around to find Howard, saying he knows what Pearl has been up to, and then blasts Jackson in the chest with his shotgun, revealing himself to be complicit in Pearl's violent tendencies. Meanwhile, Pearl climbs into bed with Maxine naked, touching her back and leaving RJ's blood on her? Maxine turns around and sees Pearl, causing her to scream. Bobby Lynn awakens and tries to help Maxine. She sees Pearl running out of the house and follows her to the lake. Bobby Lynn tries to help Pearl back into the house, but Pearl calls her a whore and then pushes her into the lake, where she is eaten by an alligator. In the couple's house, Lorraine tries to break through the door with axe to escape, but she is caught by Howard, who slams her fingers with his own axe and severs one of them. Maxine sees Pearl and Howard return to the guest house and hides under the bed. The elderly couple discusses the murders before having intercourse. Maxine manages to flee to the van, where she finds RJ's corpse and the tires to the van slashed. After hearing Lorraine scream, she grabs Wayne's gun from the glove compartment and enters the couple's house. She frees Lorraine, who angrily blames Maxine for everything that has happened. Lorraine begins to run out of the front door, only to be shot by Howard. As he tries to drag her body inside, Lorraine lets out a dying cough, which startles Howard and causes him to suffer a fatal heart attack. Maxine retrieves the keys to Howard's truck and aims her gun at Pearl as the TV plays a video of a preacher, with Maxine saying, "I will have the life I deserve," just as the preacher does. Unfortunately, Maxine finds that the gun is unloaded. Pearl fires the shotgun at Maxine, who dodges, and the recoil is strong enough to blast her out of the house, where she breaks her hip. Pearl begs Maxine for help, and she refuses. Maxine gets into the van as Pearl berates her, and Maxine runs her over with the truck, crushing Pearl's head. Maxine drives away from the farm. The following day, Dentler and the other officers arrive. The video of the preacher keeps playing, and it is revealed that Maxine is his daughter, and he is searching for her. The deputy finds the camera used to film the porno. When he asks Dentler what he thinks is on it, he replies, "A goddamn horror show." The end. Thanks for watching.